Ladies and gentlemen, very special guest today. I'm here with head coach at Georgia for the women's tennis team. His name is Drake Bernstein, and they are the defending national champions. Drake, welcome on. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, happy to be here, man. Happy to spend a morning chatting with Makai. That's always a good morning.
So, before we get into the good stuff, it's obviously the week after the Ryder Cup. And I just, knowing you're a big golf guy and you love the game of golf, I just wanted to get your opinion on it. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I think that the fight that the U.S. put up on the last day is one that'll be talked about for a while. I think that while Europe retains the cup, the next 2 years, I think it's one of those things where you didn't quite win the tennis match, but you made a statement on the last day. And I think that that's got to play somewhere in the back of Europe's mind over the next 2 years, something for them to think about. But I think U.S. will be ready to do it on the road.
Well, I'll say this. I think if Keegan Bradley had played, the U.S. would have won. And the second thing I'll say is the 2027 Ryder Cup captain has to be one guy, and it has to be Tiger Woods. What do you think?
Oh, how about that? That'd make for some good viewership.
Staying on golf, quick question for everyone listening is a few people wanted me to ask you this: is who wins between you and your associate head coach, Jared Chaplin?
It's a total toss-up. Two totally different players here, two totally different approaches to the game. Chaplin's the guy that can hit it far and is also apt to do some poor things around the green. I'm the one that kind of putts along with a little 225-yard shot off the tee. We actually just had the chance to play, thanks to our good friends at NC State. We had the chance to play during All-Americans. Chaps was 1 over going into 9. We were getting a quick 9 in. And Chaps 1 over going into 9, sends one out into just the almost marsh. Took 4 to get out and blows up on 9. And it's just, golf's a great sport. It just requires a certain presence and ability to get over the last shot, a lot like the same sport that we play.
I love it. Great story. Last social question I have for you is about Kirby Smart. Is it true that when you guys are practicing on a daily basis, you can hear Kirby coaching? Is that right?
Daily. It starts at 4 o'clock. It's just up the hill here. And it's amazing. Like, okay, so last week we take a tough loss to Alabama. This week is Kentucky, and it's the exact same energy every single day. And really, like, I think Kirby's been a great blueprint for what it can look like for an alumni coaching at the place that they care about. I mean, he pours his heart into it every day, brings, again, that juice, that energy. There's just no slow down to it. There is no relax and coast for a days of practice. Again, if you ever want to hear Kirby, 4 o'clock in Athens, Georgia, practice is starting. You may not be able to get field access, but you can hear him over the megaphone. That's plenty. That's plenty.
What's he actually like? Like, obviously, he's a phenomenal coach. Seems like a great person. Does he come over to tennis and watch your matches? Like, what's he actually like?
Yeah, I mean, he's around a lot. I'd say that those guys probably come over 2 or 3 times a year to tennis. And the great thing about Coach Smart is what you see on TV and the love and the passion. Like, that's how he's wired. That's who he is. It's exactly what you see on TV.
Got it. Well, appreciate that information. I know everyone listening will love to hear that. So looking behind you, you have obviously had a tremendous amount of success at Georgia. Multiple semifinals, quarterfinals, finals, and then obviously most recently you won the national championship in May. Tell us, there are a lot of coaches out there that get very close, right? They get to those final stages. If I'm to ask you, what's the difference in actually crossing that line and getting it done?
Yeah. I mean, if you were, I think it's going to change year to year, right? But the really this whole idea that there's a lot that are getting close is really more of a testament to the depth of college tennis, more so than it is one coach pulling a team over a line. I mean, it's just like college tennis has gotten to the point to where it used to be, you know, a top 5 team in the country is, well, they're going to win their round of 32 match. They're going to win their round of 16 match, and they'll be at the final. There's none of that. Like the round of 32 is totally volatile. Anything can happen. Round of 16, anything can happen. So I think if there was anything that did it for us last year, I'd probably say it was the way that we went about our Tuesday, Wednesday practices. And it got to the point to where that kind of performance was just something that we did every day. Really, there's no hero speech. Once you get to the end stages, it was almost less. It's like, okay, well, just go do what you know how to do. Go swing. You guys have fun. You've earned it. And it was a group that was playing hard for each other, hard for Georgia, 4 seniors that wanted to go out on top. Yeah, they kind of made up their minds. That was a big deal.
You say that about 4 seniors. Do you think, I'm not sure what the framework of your team was there, but do you think arguably it's more important coming from them, like internal leadership?
Absolutely. I mean, it's not so much like a leadership thing. It's as much, I feel like, as it is like, are they comfortable? Do they understand the truth and the full picture about what's going on? All of the distractions that could enter your head, the ones that matter, the ones that don't matter. I think that experience was probably the biggest piece of the leadership. We just knew what was important, and you know, those ladies had a wonderful way of making it work out.
So you were obviously the assistant coach, associate head, and then you took the role as head coach not recently, but what's that transition been like? Like how's that whole period gone for you personally?
Yeah, it's just been a blast. I mean, we're this place and the staff that I get to do it with Jared and Will and Kate and all of our support staff, our athletic director, Josh Brooks. Like we I don't know. I feel like there sometimes in college athletics, especially in Olympic sport like tennis, we can kind of get caught up in thinking it's like this seismic event every time we play a match. And we've kind of taken the approach of let's just enjoy every day. Let's have fun. When we go out to lunch, we're having fun. When we go to coffee, we're having fun. We practice, we're working our tail off, but it's still like productive and we enjoy being with each other. So I'd say that's the biggest thing. First few years, like we've really made it a project and a goal to enjoy what we're doing. And I think we've succeeded so far.
So you won the national championship in May. And what tends to happen when a team wins the national championship is there may be a drop-off. Maybe they have a lot of older players and they move on, or they turn pro, and there's maybe a rebuilding phase, right? That is absolutely not the case with Georgia this year. If you actually go to UTR and you look at the power rankings, Georgia are actually number 1. I know, right, Coach, you probably don't look at that too much. But when you look at that, what that shows me and what that shows people out there is you have the talent. You have phenomenal players. My question to you is, how do you get these great players? What do you do? What is your, you could call it sell or conversations like to these great players to come to Georgia?
You know, it's interesting you use that word because I think it's almost like an absence of a sell. It's really more informative. This is what Georgia is. We only bring in players that we're very excited about on a recruiting trip, but when they get to see it, it's not really a hard sell of any sort as much as it is, well, this is who we are. This is what the day-to-day looks like. Is this something that excites you or not? And I think that, like, again, I'm excited about the direction that the program's moving and continuing to build momentum because it's just players and young ladies that want to be here. They're excited about taking on this wearing of the red and black and all that goes with it. So really it's not a ton of sales as much as does this excite you? Do you love tennis as much as we do?
Right. Got it. And looking at that recruit, you have a pool of 20 players, or you go to a tournament and you see X amount of players. What's the determining factor for you as a coaching staff? What do you actually look for? Is it size? Is it power? Is it only results? Is it character? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, if you were to look at our team, you see a lot of different game styles, right? We've got grinders, we've got aggressive players, and of course, there's going to be things that we work on while in college. The biggest thing that we need here at Georgia is we need players that love tennis. And there's kind of this thing these days of like, people will go to a tournament and say, oh, I got to go play this tournament, or I've got to go play a match and I'm the last. If you don't love it, like, why are we doing it? And so I think that finding those players that love it and that are going to get excited about a match or even a practice, that's the big deal for us.
Got it. Structure of your program, right? You don't have to reveal everything, obviously, from a competitive standpoint, but who are you as a coach? Is it afternoons team practice? Do you play doubles in the morning? Is it a lot of individuals? Is it technical? How do you run this thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, again, it's where we've got what I feel like to be a pretty unique staff in terms of three different personalities. I'm the head coach, and kind of what you see is what you get. And Jared Chaplin, the assistant, incredible tennis mind, incredible doubles mind, has a certain way of communicating why something may be relevant to somebody's game in the individual setting. Will Reynolds is kind of the piece. Chaps and I, we might get a little bit fired up and a little bit louder at times, or a little bit more enthusiastic, let's say. And Will is always there to hold the baseline for the group. So really, I think that I bring them up because it's trust among the group of coaches, right? It's like one of them may see something different than how I see it, and sure, run with it. And really, I think we're all on the same page as what this experience should look like. And the experience of college tennis, the experience of playing at Georgia, we're all pretty united on that front. And we just set out to do it with different voices and in different ways.
Question for you that I actually didn't have prepared, but I just started to think about it now, is when you go on the road, let's say you're playing an SEC weekend and you're playing Thursday, Saturday, or Friday, Sunday. Routines. Do you leave the day before? Do you get a hit that day? Do you do a hit on the morning of the match? What sort of routines do you guys have? Yeah,
like if we play a night match, something about 4 or later, we'll usually try to get out and do something in the morning, whether it's hitting balls or just going for a walk or a yoga session in the morning. We always eat 3 hours before every match. And I think that once we get to the courts, we put our phones down and we're 2 hours out and we're locked into the match and what's ahead of us. And obviously, being a coach yourself, that those routines and making every day feel the same is a big deal, whether you're playing the team that's number 1 in the nation or a team that's ranked 50.
Got it. UTR. Let's talk UTR. First of all, how do you use it for your program on a daily basis, weekly basis?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably the first metric as far as if you were to be looking at a player. Let's say one of our players is getting ready to play somebody, even if it's one of our alumni, we'll toss it into UTR to see about what kind of level we can expect. And like any metric, it's not perfect, but it's pretty dang good. It can give you a ballpark. It can't predict which way the wind is going to blow a certain way, if it's going to blow a ball in or out, but it's going to give you a ballpark level. And so from that sense, it's nice to be able to say, this is about where you're at. Give or take a little bit on any given day, this is about where you're at. And really for our own players to see that progress. And the best part about it is you can go out and you can get one great win, and UTR is going to consider that, but it's not going to just shoot you up the charts, right? And so it's a great way of tracking steady progress and seeing where players go maybe over the course of 6 months, a year, or 4 years. But yeah, we're on it definitely daily.
This another question that's just come to mind. Again, I try to prepare these, but I want these conversations to be real. I want them to be fun. I want people to truly get an insight into into college tennis programs and, football coaches. And that's what I'm trying to do here, right? But you bring up, having one result or this or that. If you look at professional tennis players on the women's side, is there a certain level where you as coaches go, you need to go pro, or you reach this ranking in juniors, you should probably go pro? Like, what's the mindset there? Because I coached on the men's side, right? What's that mindset like on the women's side?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's still pretty case dependent, because you could have a player that's of a certain level, but nowhere near ready to take on the challenge of the tour and losing almost every week, right? And be able to handle that. I think that once you're hitting top 10 ITF, or you're really, I looked the other day, there's over 550 players on the women's side that are above an 11 UTR. That's a lot of really, really good players out there, right? And so just because you're a really good player, does it mean you're ready for the tour? I'm not just so sure. I think that it's case to case there, but I think top 10 juniors have a good shot out there. I still think there's plenty of value for them to be had in college, but also, if you're 16 years old and you're 200, your prospects are looking pretty promising at that point.
Right. Got
200 WTA. Sorry.
Right. So you and the men are hosting. You hosted a PTT in August, 2. You hosted 2 in August, and you're hosting 1 in January. Why? Why is that?
Yeah, it's guaranteed matches. It's quality matches. It's matches that kind of reflect a college season, where it's like, if you go out and you play let's say you go play a W35 and you lose your first day, well, you're off for the week. Well, in college, you go to national indoors, an event like national indoors, your team may win first round, you lost, and you've got to get back up again and tie them up for the next day. You may lose again, and you got to tie them up, and maybe now it's the most important match of the tournament, where it's the finals, and you've got to be ready to go. I love that about the UTRs, where there's separation from the day before. It doesn't really matter what you did the day before. It matters what you do today. And that goes right in line with a lot of our coaching. And so the tournaments there, it's just, again, you're going to get quality matches. You're going to get 5 of them in a week, and you'll have notes after it. Everything's streamed, everything's recorded. It's a great tool for anybody, whether you're in college, whether you're entering college. A lot of times, we may speak with a recruit who has never watched himself play on video, right? Like, I think that's a totally kind of huge hidden benefit of these PTTs. You're going to be able to go back and watch your match.
On that note of a recruit, I have 2 more questions for you, just to finish up here. A junior out there, a recruit out there is listening to this conversation. Briefly, why come to Georgia?
I mean, it's the home of college tennis. It's the greatest crowds, the greatest environment. Why? A better question: why wouldn't you come to Georgia? We've got great academics. We've got great football. We've got a great athletic department. We've got America's #1 college town. Is that enough for you, James?
I will say this: when NCAs goes to Athens in May, I encourage people out there, if you are considering on going, you should, because it will be an environment that you've never seen before. I'm a big believer that, actually, I've always said this, that the NCAA tournament should always be in Athens. I even said that when I was coaching at Tennessee. Obviously, a potential advantage to a competitor like Georgia, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you want an environment, you want crowds, and you want something so special for these student athletes that they remember for the rest of their life. And I just think that come next May, it's going to be an amazing event. Just on that, preparations going okay? Are everything going well and looking forward to it?
The grass is looking very green. Everything is looking tidy. Everybody, there is in these NCAA years in Athens, there's a little bit of, I don't know, something in the air, not just with the team, but with the community. Everybody knows. Everybody here in Athens knows NCAAs are coming this year, and everybody in the department is excited to see May.
Why? Sorry, how come you guys get the fans? Like, where do they? Is it just like? Is it just Athens in general? Is it a tennis community? What? Like,
it is a nice tennis community. I think it's the history. You know, Coach McGill years back set this thing up, and really now people have just gotten used to it. It's what you do on your Fridays and Sundays in the spring in Athens. You come to the tennis mat. It's just what you do. And I think that it's also a reflection. We have a great product, not just Georgia. College tennis has a great product. And once people come once, they're going to come again. And I think that it's just kind of snowballed with momentum here in Athens, and I'm hopeful that that continues to grow across the country too. Like you said, I mean, I'll take 1,000 fans rooting against us than over 50 fans, half of which are parents, right? Like, give us the atmosphere, give us the experience, and make us tougher. Completely agree.
Last question. Expectations for the year. Do you talk about goals? How do you approach that? You're fresh off winning a national title. How are you feeling as a head coach, and what do you communicate with your team?
Yeah, we let people like you talk about the goals for the team and what we should or shouldn't do.
Love it.
Our biggest concern is what are we doing today? Don't really care about tomorrow. What are we doing today? Does it look like what it's supposed to look like? Are we on the plan we set out to be? Are we being honest with ourselves in our development? We do those things. We feel good about the rest taking care of itself.
Love it. Absolutely love that mindset. Well, as a reminder, there's a PTT event coming to Athens in January. The NCAA tournament is coming to Athens in May. Drake, I really appreciate your time. Best of luck this year, and all the best to you and your family.
Thanks to you and all you do. Go Dogs.